So, what are we learning in this prayer series, right? The importance of prayer and Jabez's prayer, the intensity. We have been learning a lot during this particular month, right? But let's quickly jump in. How many of you know this saying? The saying says, show me your friends, I'll show you your future, right? You know this saying, right? Now I have a new saying. Show me your prayer, I will tell you who God is for you. And it's by a famous author. Right? That's me. Yeah. So if you look at how our prayers are, I'm not pinpointing anyone, but when we watch our prayers, sometimes we treat God like an ATM, right? Whenever there is shortage of money, God, give me money. I don't know what's going to happen next month. Give me money. It's always like we treat him like an ATM. But when the money is in, forget him. Sometimes when we are sick, that's when he comes into picture. Until then, we are so busy. He is somewhere else, right? Most of the times, this is what happens. Especially when exams come, after writing exams, or during writing the exams, or when the papers are corrected, the prayers will be, God, you be the teacher. You be the teacher. You correct the paper for me. But I didn't attempt any of the 20 marks. I've done that, right? Many times we treat God like a courier boy. Have you seen this? I used to work in an office. There used to be one senior person. He'll say, exactly around 12 o'clock range, he'll say, go to Buhari Hotel, get this biryani. Then go to this Amma mess, get that thing. So in every place he will say something and he'll ask me to get it for him. Sometimes we do that. One cousin is in New Orleans, bless him. Then straight go to Chennai, bless my auntie. Then from there go and bless my uncle. We treat him like a courier boy. Sometimes we parcel our blessings. Here are my blessings, God take it and go to him, right? I have seen that happen. Sometimes we treat him like an agent or a broker. If there is a hard, recently, any of you are into the immigration slots booking? God, I'm not getting any slots. You be the broker, you be the agent and book the slots for me. After the slots are available, forget him. Sometimes we treat him like, this is especially when somebody wrongs us, when somebody treats us bad. God, I don't know what you will do. A lightning should strike on that guy. Whatever he writes in that exam, everything should be incorrect. We treat him like a gunda. If you watch our prayers, you'll know. Sometimes we treat him like a washing machine. What do we do in the washing machine? Unclean clothes, throw it in. Next day come on, unclean clothes, throw it in. Next day come unclean. Do the same sin, come back, sorry. Do the same sin, come back, sorry. Daily repeating, right? Sometimes our prayers look like we treat God like a businessman. God, I will do this, you do that for me, okay? This month I will save from 2 souls. You book something for me in heaven. If I don't do this, can you bless me? Sometimes if you watch our prayers, this is what happens. Especially when we are going to India. God, please be a great security man and take care of my house. I'm going to India. My kid is going to school, go with him. I'll manage. You come back and we'll take care. Right? When you watch our prayers, many times we treat him like this. Whenever we are on the aeroplane or car or wherever it is, God, you be the driver, take the wheel. Have you heard that? most important. When we are entering a country or when we are in the visa appointment or whatever it is, right? The prayer is, Lord, you take that person's place. You give me the stamping. He should not ask me any questions. I should just walk in. Right? This is how our prayers are. Sometimes we treat him like a genie. Whatever wish we want, ask. Rub the lamp, he should come. Other times, go into the lamp. That's what we do, right? We keep him inside a shelf. Whenever we want, open, hello, give me money, close. That's how our prayers are looking like. Maybe it's a time for introspection. Now, is that bad? It's our God. Where else can we go? He's our only God. I don't have anybody else. So asking him about my needs, about my child's needs, about their security, about the money, is it wrong? Is it a problem? It is not. Look at these verses, right? John 15:16. Ask in my name, I will give you. Matthew 7:7. Ask and it will be given to you. My God says, ask me, I will take care of it. So what is the harm in asking? Why can't my prayers be, give me this, give me, like a laundry list? Why can't my prayers be like that? No, our prayers cannot be like that. Why? Because it should have few other components. Here are 3 components that I feel are very important, along with the list. Only the list cannot work. The prayer cannot be like a laundry list, or it cannot be like a to-do list, saying you do this, you do this, you do. After that, no touch with God. Relationship is the key. If there is no relationship, then there is nothing. These petitions doesn't make any sense. Let's assume that I'm the dad and my son comes only to get money from me. Other times he doesn't talk to me, he doesn't say hi, hello, how are you, are you good, bad, nothing. Only when his pocket money is low, if he comes to me, does it even look like a relationship? God earns for our relationship. John 15:15. See here, it's very interesting, this particular words, and I have highlighted the word friends. Look at this. I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends. The moment he calls us friends, there is a relationship starting. Friends don't behave like master and servant, right? Friends behave like, hey, how are you? What's going on? I could see that in the past few days. The moment like Anna, all of you heard that my family is sick, somebody is bringing food, somebody is praying for me, somebody is asking me what to do. That is how friendship is, right? You don't really have to tell anything to them. They care about you. It's almost like a nice strong bridge. On top of it, you can put all your requests, no problem. But relationship. Look at the level he is coming towards. He is calling us friends. Look at the access we have. If that relationship access is in place, then the prayer makes sense, right? One more. He says, I am the vine, you are the branches. He's saying, you're part of me. He's gone to one step above than friends. You're like my own blood. You're like my own extension. You are almost me, right? If he's the vine and we are the branches, we are pretty much part of him. That's the kind of relationship he's looking for, so that the prayer works, right? The second component I feel is righteousness. Let's say there is a relationship and I have a laundry list of things that I want, but I'm not good. I'm not right in the eyes of my God. Does it even help? It doesn't help. If you look at it, for the eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and His ears are attentive to their prayers. If there is no righteousness, what is the problem? Let's say I'm the dad and I have my son. He has a huge, I need a Ferrari, I need this jeans, I need that shooter. Great. I have a relationship. He's my son, I'm the dad. But what if he's not in the right path? Will I ever be listening to will I be fulfilling his requests? He's not ready. So righteousness is needed for the prayer to work. Reconciliation. If my son, or if all of us, we are children of God, right? If we are not reconciling with others, if we have problems with others, in our own home, with our own friends, with our own community, if we have differences, if we are not treating the same way that God treats us, the other people, then how will that work? How will the prayer work? So for a successful prayer, a relationship is needed. Righteousness of the heart is needed. We should be right in His eyes. And reconciliation, just in case if there are any problems, we reconcile. And that's when the laundry list works. Many times you don't need the laundry list at all. He will take care of His every need. Even before we open our mouth, He knows every need, right? Why do we need the laundry list? Right? So the three components, if those are in place, then I believe prayer will be very effective. Great. Even then my prayers are not working. What to do? I'm not getting answers. I prayed that my grandma is sick. Please save, but she passed away. I prayed that I should get first rank in the exam, but I didn't get it. I prayed that I should go to this country. I didn't get it. Why are some of the prayers not working? Does that mean God is not listening? Does that mean my relationship is in place? I'm righteous. Even then, if prayers are not working, something else is wrong. What is it? Let's look at it. I did not ask. If I don't ask, how will I get? I did not ask. We did not ask. In our prayers, we did not ask. Let's look at this. There was young Timmy. Young Timmy was in the house, in a neighbor's house. And the neighbor said, everybody is closing their eyes and praying. Oh, Lord, bless this food. Timmy is not praying. They asked, why are you not praying? Oh, don't worry. My mom cooks really good. I don't have to pray. He's not afraid of the food. Right? If you look at this example, Mark 10:51, the whole passage is about a blind man. His name is Bartimaeus. And where is he sitting? He's sitting on the side of the road. And who is passing by? Jesus is passing by. And there is huge crowd. And what is he doing? He's shouting, oh God, please help me, right? What were the people saying? They were saying, no, don't make noise, right? But finally Jesus stopped and said, what? Come to me. And then he asked a question here. What do you want me to do for you? Jesus asked. Is that not a weird question? There is a blind man. He is sitting on the road. He is shouting, please help me. He is all-knowing God. What should he be doing? Come. You can see, go. That's what should be happening, right? Why is he asking? Look at the question. What do you want me to do for you? He might have asked for a house or he might have asked for something else. But he's specifically asking. And the answer is, Rabbi, I want to see. Then if you look at the next verse, he says, you get it. God knows what we want, but he wants us to ask him with the relationship, with the righteousness, with the reconciliation of heart. He wants us to still ask. So asking is not a problem. We should still ask. But he's waiting. He's waiting for are asked to come to Him. Maybe we may be asking somebody else. We may be asking some channels, we may be asking Google, we may be asking YouTube channels, we may be asking many people. Maybe we are not asking Him. For our prayers to work, we need to be clear and fervently praying to Him and clearly ask Him, this is what I want, this is what I'm struggling with. This applies to all of us, all age. Let's go to the next one. We may have the wrong motive. Sometimes without our knowledge or with our knowledge, we may have our wrong motive while we ask in our petitions, right, in our prayers. We may have wrong motive. So you may know this joke already. There was young Johnny and he wanted a toy, and the toy was $100. So he wrote a letter saying to God, and then he posted the letter saying, I want $100 for a toy. It went to the local postmaster, and the postmaster opened it. And the postmaster said, young boy, he wants a toy. But the postmaster said, okay, let's send $50 to him. Small boy, let's go ahead and send him $50. When he got the $50, the small boy was really worried. He wrote another letter. God, you sent me $100, but the postmaster took $50. He has given me only $50. So sometimes when we do stuff right, the motives can be different in where we are. The way we look at it could be different. Look at this, James 4:3. You ask and you do not receive because you are asking wrongly to spend it on your own passions. So whenever we ask something and if our motive is not right and if it is not according to God's plan, He would say, you're asking wrong. I'm not going to give you. Let me wait, right? This is like we calling the phone of someone and the signal is not good. What do we say? Let me cut the call. Let me go to a place where there is a good signal and then I'll call you, right? Same happens with God. We try connecting Him, there is a wrong motive and He would say, wait, come to the right place. I'll give you, right? Next, no faith, no belief. There could be no faith or no belief. That could be a reason. So there was a man and he was sitting in a jungle, and all of a sudden a lion started chasing him. And he's running. That's when he remembered he's a Christian, so he immediately started praying, God, make this lion a Christian. Suddenly the lion is not chasing him. He was really happy. He turned back. He saw the lion was kneeling down. So he went near the lion and asked, and he was listening what it is. He's praying. The lion is praying. He's saying, God, thank you for this delicious food you're going to give me. Yeah. So sometimes our faith, our belief, are we putting our faith on God and then asking this? Many times we ask, but in our corner of the mind, we don't really think that God will do it. We put Him in a box and say, we'll just ask, but He's not going to anyway do this, right? Let's look at this. Mark 11:24. Therefore I tell you, with whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it. You've not yet got it. You have to believe that you've received it, if your motive is right. Let's go to the next one. What if we have sinful nature? I told this story in my YouTube channel, but you may have forgotten it. Let's refresh this. So in a room there were 4 friends, and the room had always a bad smell. So they were doing some investigation and finally found it was one guy. If he goes out of the room is good. When he comes back, the room is really bad. So they checked completely and then found that he is not washing his socks. He's always wearing the same socks for many centuries. So finally they said, okay, remove that socks, clean him up, and then let's put on a new socks. And now you go out and come in. He came back. Same smell. They were like, we did everything right, what happened? he was having the old socks in his pocket. Sometimes we do that. That old nature, that sinful nature, even after coming to Jesus, even after meeting Him, even after a few years of walking with Him, sometimes you will find that bad smell. It's coming back. It's somewhere in the pocket. It's somewhere in the corner. It's somewhere in our heart. Right? If that's so, God is going to say, no, I'm not going to say yes to this prayer. You get yourself right. Right? Look at this Psalm 66:18. If I had cherished sin in my heart, the Lord would not have listened. Proverbs 28:9. If one turns away his ears from hearing the law is God's, what is right and wrong. If we fall into sin, even his prayer is an abomination. He's saying it's not even bad, it's abomination. Our choice versus God's. Sometimes we like something. I've seen that happen with my kids, right? If they like something, they wouldn't directly say, I like it. They'll try to make that come from me. Right? We've tried that many times with many people. So there was a guy, his doctor said, please be on good diet. Don't eat any donuts, none of those business. Be very careful with your food. So what he did, he said, okay. He was driving and he saw the donut shop. And it was full of cars. The lineup was full of cars. He's like, God, if you really want me to have a donut, you told me not to, but if you really want me to have a donut, make space on the parking so that I can easily go and get it. Let the line clear up. The car line, right? Let it clear up. And finally, he came to his friend and said, I got it. God made a way. I was like, is it? Yeah, I went around 15 times. 15th time I got it. So God made a way 15th time. He was destined to go to the donut shop, so he was going round and round. Right? Sometimes we do that. Until the point we want to get it, we try to get the answer from God. Right? Look at this. Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not on your own understanding. Right? So our choice, let it be God's choice. Let's not put our words onto Him and try to convince Him. Okay, let's go to the next one. Relationships. So there was one guy who said, what's your success of your marriage life? You seem to be very, very happy. His friend asked. So this guy said, oh, that's very simple. The arguing with the wife, right? It's like reading the service agreement of an internet connection. So if you see those small letters, many pages, before you finally there will be an accept button. Have you seen that? How many of us read that? Even though it is very big, you'll finally do what? Accept. That's the secret of working with wife. Whatever be the agreement, finally you're going to say, accept. Right? So look at this relationship, and this is key. And 1 Peter 3:7, husbands, oh my God, he's saying husbands. Right? Where is the words for wife? I don't know, but this is for husbands. And I would say this is for wives as well. Right? In the same way, be considerate as you live with your wives and treat them with respect as the weaker partner and as heirs with you of the gracious, so that nothing will hinder your prayers. Okay, so when we have things not working out with the wife or with the life partner, right? Our prayers are hindered. It's not going to reach God. It's basically saying set your home right. Set your relationship right. The best person who knows about you in and out is your partner. If you have problems with your partner and it is not reconciled, then God is not going to listen to our prayers. Pride. You know about this. There was a Pharisee or Sadducee or those religious leaders, right? They would stand in the public places. They'll stand in the public places and pray like everyone is seeing, right? They'll always stand in a public place and start praying. They don't, that's what is said here. I tell you that this man, rather than the other, went home justified. So here, the religious leaders come to the public place and pray loudly so that everybody looks at them. They're doing that for show. But God calls us to, in your private prayers, be very humble, submit yourselves to God. Let pride not be taking place, right? If there is pride, obviously He's not going to answer our prayers. Next is impatience. So here is a Bible salesman, and this guy was like star Bible salesman. But he has a stuttering mouth. He did amazing sales. So people are like, how did you sell this many Bibles? We were trying all along, we were not able to do this. He said, I have a stuttering problem, right? So I will go in front of their house, knock at the door and say, sir, and he'll stutter and say, do you want to buy this Bible or can I stand here and read the whole Bible? They'll immediately buy. That's how he became a best salesman. Look at this. Sometimes there is no patience. We don't let it happen. We don't let God take control and in His time. We want it now. It's like kids rolling on the floor and crying in Walmart. I need this toy now. Like, wait, I will get a better one for you. No. I want it to roll on the floor. I don't know if you have seen that. I have seen that many times. Sometimes we behave like that with God. There is no patience. I want it now. He is having it. I want it now. Look at this. Hebrews 6:12. We do not want you to become lazy, but to imitate those who through faith and patience inherit what has been promised. So God is looking for patience and waiting at His feet for His timing. So our prayers are best to put it in His hands and say, this is what I'm looking for, but you do the best for me in your time. Many times we don't do that. Maybe that's the reason for no answer. Sometimes God is preparing us. We are not ready for that. Maybe not ready for that position, not ready for that house, not ready for that car, not ready for that child. We may be praying, but it's not happening because maybe we are not ready. He's preparing us. He's training us. So there was a guy who wanted a lot of blessings from God. He wanted to trick God. So what he did, he called God and said, God, how much is 10 million years for you? He said 1 second. It's equal to 1 second. Then he asked, God, how much is $10 million for you? He said 1 penny. Okay. God, can you give me 1 penny? He said, wait a second. So God said, wait a second. So he had to wait for 10 million years, right? That was a joke to basically say, in the eyes of God and how the time works and how He prepares us. Now look at this verse, John 11. And when He had said these things, He cried out loud, Lazarus, come out. Do you remember this incident? This is a man called Lazarus, and he was dead, right? People were sending word to Jesus saying, please come now, there's something wrong. But He came in His time. He was preparing not only Mary and Martha and Lazarus, He was preparing that whole land of people. People who heard this came running. That news spread like wildfire. He knows when to do it. He's preparing us. Sometimes those miracles, right, we can't handle. Sometimes those positions we can't handle. Sometimes those degrees we can't handle. Sometimes that money we can't handle. When He prepares us, when He times it, when He makes us eligible, then we shine at the right time. Maybe that's why the answer for the prayer is not yet. So let's introspect in our hearts. Maybe in your life, you've been praying for a lot of things. and you're not getting answers immediately. You're righteous, your relationship is good, you have reconciled with people, but still it's not working out. Why? There may be multiple reasons. So finally, this is what I want to say. Who should pray? Anyone can pray. All of us can pray. What should we pray about? Anything and everything. There is no restriction. Personal, private, something that I don't understand, simple math steps, anything and everything. I don't know how to raise my child. Anything and everything we can ask. When should we pray? Anytime. 24/7, 365 days. Anytime we can pray. Where can we pray? Anywhere. But here is a suggestion I have. So, when you look at prayer, right, do you think it's like a one-time thing or it is a regular activity? Do you think it's an exercise that you have to do daily? Can I say it's a habit? It is a habit. So, whenever you look at a habit, you need to have a specific time. If you don't have a time, let's say, if you want to have fitness and you want to do daily running, if you don't have a specific time, right, after 1 week you will not be doing it. If you don't have a specific place, after 1 month you will not be doing it. A habit needs a time. A habit needs a place. A habit needs accountability. You may need a partner or someone to say, did you do it today? You can be the partner for them and say, did you do it today? Otherwise, it becomes a hobby. Do you want prayer to be a hobby for you, or do you want prayer to be a habit for you? If you need that to be a habit, then you need to have a time, you need to have a place, you need to have a partner for it. And that partner should be holding you accountable. Otherwise, prayer will become a hobby. Some days you will feel very tired, some days you will feel very enthusiastic, some days something else will come. And the prayer will, either it is family prayer, personal prayer, whatever. Let me give you one example. Anna already used that particular incident in his sermon. So at one point of time, I had a very tough time in my life, and I had a choice to do something really bad. If I go right, I do that. If I go left, I go to the church. So I decided to go to the church. And in that church, it's called Apostolic Christian Assembly in Chennai, Kilpak. And in that church, Mohan C. Lazarus was preaching. And I was at my all-time low in my life. It's like broken-hearted. I felt like some 1,000 people are surrounding me and spitting on me. That's the kind of situation I was. I couldn't face anything, totally broken. But nobody can find out. I can smile nicely. I'm sitting there at that sermon, and the sermon is about Job. Job's condition is totally bad, full of boils in the body, wife, kids, everybody gone. Nothing. He has nothing. He's now sitting on a pile of ash. And his friends came and didn't talk to him for how many days? 7 days. And after 7 days, what did they say? You can do it, did they say? What did they say? Something wrong you might have done. After that, lovely wife came. Wife also sat there and cried with him. And finally, what did she say? You can do it, you're my husband, you're my better. Did she do that? What did she do? She didn't say die. Look at the lady. What did she say? Curse God and die. That's Satan talking. When the friends was around and everybody was accusing him, what was Job doing at that moment? If you look at the verse, it's very interesting. Anna mentioned that in the last sermon. When he prayed for his friends, he was blessed. And it was normal, not normal blessing. It was double portion blessing, double blessing. That was the message that day. I immediately signed up for every week one specific time. You can go to the church and pray. And there will be a huge board with a lot of people's needs, names. I started doing that for just that. my life changed completely. Completely means 360, and I'm standing in front of you now. I encourage each one of you, pray with reconciliation, with that relationship, with that assurance. I guarantee you, I'm the living proof. You might have not seen me if I went in the right side. I went to God. I chose Him. I started praying for others. God has blessed me. So why don't you pray? Don't hesitate. Anytime, anywhere, for anything, pray to Him. Never leave His hand. Especially pray for others. Double blessing. With that, I encourage you. Be a blessing to others.